Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome.
How you doing?
What happened? Why I'm hearing the background noise? Somehow I'm hearing the background noise. Big up everybody that is here. This is your Liverpool show. A lot of people have asked me to do a Liverpool show. We just did a Chelsea and Arsenal, and we'll do another one tomorrow. We'll do another one of Arsenal tomorrow and City on Friday. We failed to collect the Spurs fans. We failed to collect the Man United fans to do a show. That's a big failure from my side, of course. But big up everybody that is here. Listen, they're underdogs. Oh my God, I got 5 underdogs here. And Jerry, first of all, Jerry has joined me. He hasn't been here for a while. I'm happy to see you back, Jerry, on the channel. Appreciate you, my man, being here.
No worries, man. No worries.
Yeah,
no worries.
Mike Das is always here, the one with the most chest out of everyone. Knack, the one that talks a lot of smack to other people. And Jamie and Rack. Rack is always vibing with people. Rack is kind of cool. You know, you get Racks with Rivals Rumble, or just vibe with them. You get Racks with like the calm panel, just vibe with them. He's like, Rack, go with anything. Just go to the flow, bro.
I just match the energy. If they want to bring it, then I'll bring it. If it's chilled, it's chilled. That's how it should be, right?
100%. How's everybody doing first?
All good.
All good.
All good.
It's football to be back. Hit that like button, people, if you're watching this now. And if you're watching this on the replay, hit that like button. Where do we start, actually? I want to start with something. I've just had a show with Igal on his channel. And at the end of the show, we kind of spent a lot of time, and he's trying to convince me why Liverpool will fall off. As I felt, he's trying to convince himself, not me.
There it goes. There it is.
He's trying to convince himself that Liverpool will fall off. And he's like, you know what? He's playing it from the right. He's playing it from the left. He's like spinning the ball. He's spinning the thing. He's like, you know what? They're going to fall off at some point. I'm like, why? Why? What do you guys think about Arsenal fans trying to say that Liverpool will fall off?
They're just in shock, ain't they? It's what happens. What is it when you go through death? Yeah, is it denial? What's the 5 lists? And that's what they're going through right now, isn't it? They can't believe that this almighty Arsenal team that's won nothing in 5 years has been overtaken by this Liverpool team that was pretty much in transition for 2 years, but was still winning things. Yeah, it's mental. It's mental.
It is. I don't see Liverpool falling off, to be honest. Like,
I think one of them's
I don't see the signs. I don't see the signs of Liverpool falling off.
The only reason why you could say that we would potentially fall off would be injuries, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about hypothetical injuries that haven't happened and I don't know will happen. So in the hypothetical world, Igal has a point, but we don't live in the hypothetical world. We live in reality. And right now, we haven't had any major injuries. And right now, the only injury that I'm even worried about was an injury that began before the season even started. And I haven't even seen Harvey Elliott play. So barring external circumstances that are not predictable, like what's the point? Like there's nothing that's indicative on the way that we've played because we've improved game after game after game. I mean, the only thing that I would even hear would be your set piece defense is subpar, and at times you start games a little bit too slow, and against certain opposition, perhaps you could get punished. But you know,
that's every team in world football, though.
Exactly, Jimmy, exactly, like literally exactly. So it's just it's just a lot of copium to me, and it's just hypotheticals.
That's all I ever hear about Liverpool all the time from fans is like, you're not perfect for 90 minutes. Show me many teams are.
Football match. It's called a competition.
You can be good at set pieces. Show me some teams that probably can't. You know,
exactly.
You know, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I just think what they're doing though is because they have bigged up the Arteta Arsenal brigade, and now Liverpool could take over that. Because they put themselves in such a corner with Arteta, they don't want to admit they were wrong. So they're going elsewhere.
Okay, can I play devil's advocate and just tell you something? Why can't this be a new manager's bounce?
What slot?
Because it was the same last season.
Because Slot's a better manager enough. Because Slot's a better manager enough. We got 82 points last season. Let's not forget that.
It's the same last
with
season.
pretty much the same players.
Okay, but
And
Spurs started the season last season with kind of same amount of points as you.
Spurs got Van Dijk, Salah, Virgil, Mo Salah.
Yeah, they had injuries though. If Van Dijk and Salah get injured tomorrow, do you believe you're going to stay the same? The Spurs at that time got Madison injury, got Van de Ven injury long term,
Okay,
and they
none of
fell
them
off.
players-
I
none of
can
them
see the
players
same
get in
thing.
Liverpool's team.
You
I
can't
can say
compare
the
us
same
to
thing about
Spurs.
any team in the world.
No,
There's
you
just-
can, because at the current moment, even Man City without Rodri, yes, they have fallen off, but they're only 5 points behind them.
Every club that loses their superstars struggle. It's been evident now.
We had that last
Exactly.
season, though, Jamie. We had that last season, and we still went on a mad winning run for 2 months.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
didn't end up winning the league, so it's like, you know,
Oh, we
whatever.
dropped off at the end because we ran out of steam.
How about this one?
You know what? That is the evidence for people when they say Liverpool will fall off at the end. That's what everyone tells me. Did you see last season? They're going to fall off at the end. Did you see last
But
season? They're going
We
to fall off
cannot
at the end.
compare.
We
We
didn't
cannot
even see
compare
that.
this Liverpool to last year's Liverpool. You can't. Like, it's not comparable. We've conceded 6
It's
goals.
very comparable, though.
No,
It's
through the
not.
first 11
It's not.
games, we've conceded 6 goals. We play a completely
Oh,
different
how
style
is it
of
not?
football.
It's insane. Bro,
we play
you
a lot
haven't- you
slower.
haven't
We play a lot
added-
slower.
We
okay,
conceded.
okay.
We conceded
Look,
26 goals first last season in games.
We
26.
we play a lot
We
slower.
don't do that.
What
now.
you're telling me
We
is that
rest on the ball
Arne
now.
Slot is better than Jurgen Klopp in
Oh,
utilizing the team.
Don't
No,
twist
just
the words.
defensively.
Defensively,
we're
maybe,
more.
yeah.
We're more cohesive.
So you're
We've
more
got the-
We've got the
cohesive.
best defense
You
in
play
Europe.
better. You're not going to fall off. So Arne Slot is utilizing the team better than Jurgen Klopp. Is that?
Well,
what it's
maybe,
going
on.
maybe. What's
I'm
wrong
gonna
with
say
that?
yeah.
Mate? What's
I'm
wrong
gonna
with
say
There's
that?
yeah.
nothing
That-
wrong
that's
with that
changed.
as long as people say that, though.
No,
What-
utilizing the team last season, like you have to put the asterisk next to it. Like compared to last
Jurgen
season.
Klopp had a younger Salah, younger Van Dijk.
No, I'm just talking about compared to how he managed the club last season to this
Yeah.
season and Arne Slot's first 11 games. We are far more pragmatic, right? Like we don't concede as many opportunities. We
Yeah.
don't concede odd man rushes. We don't really concede any real open play opportunities unless it ends up becoming like a worldy strike. Because if you look at the goals that we've conceded this season, Saka's was a amazing finish, Pulisic amazing finish, the one against Brighton amazing finish, AC Milan amazing
And
finish,
set pieces.
Hudson-Odoi, amazing
set
finish,
pieces.
and of course set pieces.
So it is. So is it individual brilliance or is it Arne Slot is better? So
but it's just this season
I
compared to
mean,
this season.
I
Don't stretch
have
it
to
out and
put-
say that.
Oh, no,
Saying that, look,
better
we
than
can
do
say
my
that because-
job. I have to put my hands on what you're saying.
It's,
Are you
look,
saying
yeah.
Arne Slot is better than Jurgen Klopp
Look,
in
it's like-
utilizing the team, or
look,
are
it's
you
like,
saying
yeah.
he's worse?
And let me
Won't know
break
till
it
the end
down.
of the
Let me
season.
break
Won't
it
know
down.
till the
It's
end of
like
the season.
it's
Can we,
like
can we, guys? Can we
I'm
get to
playing
100
poker.
likes before we go on? We really need 100 likes, guys. Hit that like button underneath the live chat. Go ahead.
It's like playing poker. It's like playing poker. When we played poker with Klopp, we were all
Rom,
in.
what
We were
happened to
all
him?
in every game, like literally all in, like do or die. Like if we
Right.
concede 2 goals, then we'll score 3 goals. Like with Slot, it's just not like that. He's holding the hands and he's making sure the opposition, you know, shows their hand first, and he's saying call, and he's not pushing all the chips in. And this is what we're doing this season. Look, we're scoring 2 goals in games. If we're 2 goals ahead in games, we're shutting shop. Like we're not trying for a third. Like we want to keep it tight. And most of the chances and most of the goals we've conceded this season, we were already winning the game. Like the game was done. Like the big chances happened in most games at the end of the game when we're already 2-0 up. And we're just shutting shop, and we've made loads of substitutions. And the team's kind of just seeing out the game. Like, and that's where our games have suffered this season, like with the XG against us, which is bizarre. But if we can even change that, which we probably can, then we'd be completely imperious. Like, just look at the XG for and the XG against. It all tallies up to how the game plays. And there's not like a hot streak with our attack, and there's not like a hot streak with the opposition's, with our defense. It all matches with the data. And just the way we play football is just manageable. It manages it from start to finish.
So where do you see this Liverpool team falling off then? Where? Which
I
part?
don't. A cup
Maybe,
competition.
So you're
maybe.
not the leopard in the tree then.
maybe.
What happened
No,
to Rat, so?
no, we're not an underdog. maybe maybe
Liverpool are
midfield
not
fatigue.
underdog then.
Maybe midfield fatigue. It will be the only thing I see. Maybe, if we get a bit of midfield fatigue in that area of the pitch because of the lack of numbers, that could be where I see it. Depends what we do in January. Obviously, it depends what everyone does in January. But look, Arne Slot's obviously a very good coach. I said it in the summer. Arne Slot's a better manager than Arteta. It's already been proven in his career. So,
What?
well, he won the league with Feyenoord, and Feyenoord don't win titles, and he spent no money on that Feyenoord team, and he won the league with them.
That is the European Cup final. Got to the European Cup final.
Yeah, lost to Jose Mourinho, Roma. Slot's a good coach. Slot's a good coach, man.
Very good coach.
Slot's a good
No
coach.
one is saying he's a bad coach.
And now, no, not you, Mo, but some people.
Who said that? No one.
Oh, Arsenal fans. They hate. But look, Liverpool have got world-class players and a very good coach in charge now, and they're trying to do things a little bit differently. If Liverpool won the league this year, it's not a bad look on Jurgen Klopp. In fact, it's actually a better look on Jurgen Klopp because he built a team that was ready to go there for someone else to take over. It's like I never say Bob Paisley's a better manager than Bill Shankly, yeah? But Bob Paisley won far more than Bill Shankly. But if it weren't for Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley wouldn't have been able to do what he did, if that makes sense. So, that's why I never can compare. Klopp laid the foundations, and Slot can maybe move on with them foundations. That makes sense.
So if someone comes in and wins the league with Arsenal, does that mean they're better than Arteta, or is still Arteta's better because he laid the foundation?
Well, he laid the foundations.
So he's better, right?
The problem is, Paisley won league titles with Liverpool.
But Jurgen Klopp won one league title in like 8 years managing Liverpool. So
yeah,
he won one of everything. Are you going to denote one of everything?
Man City. He was up against the.
I'm just using Jamie's argument.
Well, I'm just saying it. I don't get this. Look, I'm going to say it right now. I hate the Arsenal glazing that goes online. Yeah, from even Liverpool content creators. The Arteta glazing online. Right, they've won nothing. Like nothing.
The only major trophy they won, Mo. The only major trophy they won, Mo, was with bloody.
It just irritates me.
Emery's team.
Literally
his team.
It just irritates me. It just irritates me.
Why does it? I don't understand this. Arteta is a very good coach. Took a team that was broken. This is not glazing, right? Took a team that is broken, literally cleared everyone out, created a new and a younger team, competed for the title. Yes, he didn't win. Competed for the title twice, right? He's playing very good football, developed a lot of players. Yes, they haven't won, but he's a very good coach.
Thomas Frank took Brentford from the League One Championship and Premier League, made them stable, play really good football with good players.
So what is your statement?
I'm just saying.
I want your statement. That your statement is Thomas Frank is better than Arteta. That is your statement.
If you gave him the Arsenal job, similar with that much time to do it, I think he just does as good a job.
You think does the same exact job or similar?
Yeah, similar, yeah. You got to remember, Arteta was allowed to take his time to improve this club because of how bad Arsenal were, yeah. So he was allowed to give him that time. And he spent how much money? How much money did he spend, Mo? How much money?
About 600 plus million.
Yeah. Should he have won? Should he have won stuff by now?
Yes, he should.
Yeah.
I'll ask you this question.
Yeah.
If Unai Emery wasn't sacked, would he have won a major trophy with Arsenal? With the money that Arsenal have been given to Arteta and the team that he had?
No, I don't think so. And I don't think Arsenal would have been challenging for the league. I don't think Unai Emery.
You mean Unai Emery, the serial winner of the UEFA Cup?
The Europa League, right? The Europa League.
Winner.
The second-hand
would like the Europa League.
It's very strange coming from a Liverpool. You're actually saying that Unai Emery, because he won the Europa League with Sevilla, he's very specialist with Sevilla. He was gonna win the title with them.
Mo, are you saying why are we talking so much about Arsenal? I don't get it.
I don't get it. It's Jamie who started. Jamie is the one who started this Arsenal glazing hate.
I don't care about London. I don't care about the south side of England. It means
Arsenal allowed in this show.
I made the show about Liverpool, to be honest. Let me do a couple of these.
I'm just saying why Liverpool.
Toxic Tash said it well, but Arsenal.
Nafis is saying it is comparable other than the first loss, which was Spurs. Your first legitimate loss was Arsenal. They didn't lose to Arsenal.
We didn't lose to Arsenal.
Nafisa, they didn't lose to Arsenal. They literally drew at the Emirates.
Stop comparing us with Spurs. This is an
A draw away
madness.
is a fantastic result to the team that finished.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well,
All I'm
Absolutely
saying,
nothing.
by the way, all I'm saying, by the way, by all this stuff is, I don't see Liverpool as underdogs. I hate that underdog tag. It's pathetic.
Salah agrees with you. The Egyptian king agrees with you. Arsenal haven't even made a semi-final in 5 years. I don't know why. What hype is around them? I don't think there's any hype, actually. I actually think...
The problem is, right, I
You're
understand we as football fans, we do this thing. But objectively, Arsenal are a very good team. Objectively, they've challenged for the league in the last couple of years. I understand people don't want to say it, don't want to hear it, but people said exactly the same thing about Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool when in the second or third year or whatever year it was. I remember going on the terrace, early days of the terrace, going on with Terry and Adam Charles, who was there at the time, and they were screaming and shouting at the season, if Klopp doesn't win a trophy this season, he has to go. Rival fans, we do it, I get it. But being objective, Arsenal are a good team. Arsenal have done well. Arsenal will probably be maybe there or thereabouts. I think we've got a solid lead. But if we're being objective, Arsenal are a good team. They have done a good job. Mikel Arteta is a good manager. What we can say is that the whole stuff about Unai Emery, it was getting really, really toxic at Arsenal. There was no way back from the way that it was at that time when they sacked him. If you remember back then, Arsenal fans had turned. The club had turned. The fans, there was no way back from that point. So Arteta, but his position there was untenable.
Back to Liverpool. Forget Arsenal now. Thank you, Donny. Back to Liverpool. How will you cope without Mohamed Salah? That was the argument. Jerry, haven't said a word. Haven't said a word, bro. What happened?
How do you cope with Mohamed Salah? Obviously, he's a big, obviously player for Liverpool, as we know, talisman. Any team will struggle if you're missing your talisman, but that's where the manager earns his bucks. And how can you go and find other ways to win? Is it putting another player there that's pops out and all of a sudden is getting goals? Is it about someone else stepping up? Is it about being a bit more defensively solid? And I was just talking about Arsenal, but in the games that they lost, do you know what I mean, or dropped points in, there were close games. It's not like they were getting out, do you know what I mean, like beaten up on the pitch, or do you know what I mean, tactically outdone. A lot of the times it's fine margins. They go and score a goal here, score a goal there. Do you know what I mean? All of a sudden you start looking at Arteta and thinking, wow, they managed that situation when Underdogs was out, when this player was out really, really well. So it just depends on, this is down to the manager. And to be fair, we don't know what the manager's going to do. We don't know how he's going to react when shit hits the fan. Currently, we can obviously lap his praises and I'm happy with him. But at the same time, we just don't know what he will do and what's in the tank when adversity hits. So how he deals with Mohamed Salah, to be honest, I'm happy I'm not the manager. It's not me that's doing. You know what I mean, I'm not the one that's, I mean, on the touchline having to figure that out. But that's what he gets paid for.
You know what, Jerry? The way Ruben Diaz, the way Luis Diaz has played, the way Darwin Núñez even been utilized this season, the way Gakpo has been utilized, I actually believe he will be able to find a solution for some reason.
I mean, you say that, but if we're being honest, I know like Diaz has obviously done well and Gakpo's obviously done well as well. But Liverpool have never had a problem scoring goals. That's last season.
You literally did have a problem last season. No, you literally didn't win. You literally didn't win the league last season, Jerry. Because Darwin Núñez was a donkey and couldn't convert. Reality.
Why?
Objectively speaking, that's false. Because Liverpool
nobody's actually arguing against that.
Why are we predicating this on Mo being injured though?
That's
like Mo has been, he's been one of the most fit players at the club.
But irrespective of that, like that's just false. If you look at the statistic, Liverpool don't have a problem scoring goals. If you're looking at certain games, certain instances, then of course Diaz could have done better. Núñez could have done better. We can pick out loads of times.
Goals conceded.
But Liverpool don't struggle as a team to score goals. Liverpool are always top 4, top 5 to score goals. Defensively, structurally, is where the issue's always been. It's not about Liverpool can't score a goal. It's not like United this season where they struggle to score a goal. Liverpool can score goals. Defensively, they struggle. So now when you look at this season, cool. If Salah can't go and score goals, Liverpool still go and create chances. They'll still probably score goals. But if you can go and win games 1-0 and not concede, you give yourself a better chance.
Statistically, Jerry, you missed the most chances in the league last season.
It doesn't matter if you miss the most chances if you're still top 3 for scoring goals. It doesn't matter. I'm not
do you know why it matters, Jerry? Do you know why it matters? Because
it does. No,
I'm going to explain to you, Jerry. Just let me explain, Jerry. Let me explain. It's the same as when we say about Kai Havertz at Arsenal. Is that it takes 1 or 2 games, you lose 6, you can score the second, third most chances, but it takes that 1 game that your striker misses that crucial chance or these 2 crucial chances. I'm going to give you an example. Mike Dath came here on the last show after the Villa game and said, last season we lose this game. Why? Because when Darwin Núñez misses these 2 chances, the opposition scores. And that is what happened last season. You missed a couple of chances that would have put the game to bed, that would have given you the 3 points, and now you go on and concede. This is why chances missed is the biggest thing in football.
Can I respond?
Go ahead. Yeah, of course.
If your conversion, I'm just saying, I don't know the stats, right? But if your conversion, you go and you don't score 80% of your goals, but you score 70% of your chances, or even 60% of your chances, right? That means more goals, or you're scoring more goals, right? Then you're scoring a large percentage of the chances that you create. Now, of 100%, there was times where Núñez should have scored, Diaz should have scored. But there was plenty of times where defensively on the transition, we let chances go by. There's plenty of times where someone made a mistake in the midfield, made a sloppy pass, and that led to a goal. Or the fact that Liverpool were caught out of position because we're playing with a high line. So defensively, there are times that Liverpool could have done better. And we could have won the game 2-0. We go, for example, to the United game in the FA Cup, right? Where Liverpool go and are scoring loads of goals, right? But defensively, we can't shut up shop. And we concede chances. You don't need to score 7-8 goals to win a game. If you look at the amount of chances Liverpool are having, it's nowhere near the amount we had last season. Yet Liverpool are still winning games. That's because of defensive structure. Therefore, yes, Liverpool messed up, and if we had scored those chances, the games could have probably been better. But on the flip side, if we had defended better, we would have been in a better situation also.
Exactly.
So there's marrying those two because this season we're not creating the same amount of chances as last year. We're not, but we're winning games.
You're also not gonna replace Mo. Like, even if Mo went down, we're not going to play the same way. Like, this is not going to be like last season. Arne Slot has already proven between first half and second half adjustments that we have the capability to play 2 completely different systems within 2 completely different 45 minutes of football. So if Mo goes down, or if for some reason the club is stupid enough to let him walk and all of a sudden he's not at the club anymore, well, then you bet your ass Arne Slot is going to go out there, find a 9, and actually build the team around a 9 and not the right winger being the main goal contributor to the side. So it's just like, I don't see Mo getting injured based on his.
It's not about the injury. It's not about the injury. It's about him hitting the drought that some seasons he does. Because know that some seasons I'm Egyptian, bro.
A goal drought. A goal drought, though, Mo.
If he hits that drought,
it's not a creativity.
I don't think you struggle. Though. My opinion is, based on the sample size that I saw, I don't think you struggle.
There's a difference. There's a difference between whether he gets injured. Go.
The point we're trying to make is the way we're playing isn't actually how Slot plays, how he's played before. Like, he doesn't get his goals from his wingers. He doesn't. He never has. He gets his goals from his main forward, and he's not been getting his goals from his main forward. So he's had to use his wingers more. So he's actually changed the way he plays football in his own tactics. Tactically changed his way to get more goals out of Liverpool by using the wingers. Because if you look at the wingers that he had for his previous teams, they were never getting double figures. They were getting like 6 or 7 goals. And they weren't really providing a huge amount of assists either. That's not how he plays with his wingers. So he's actually changed the way he plays.
But Mac, he has an exceptional player. He had the
best out of what we've got.
Hold on. But don't you think having an exceptional and a world-class player like Mohamed Salah, Troy Deeney,
absolutely,
you have to change the way you play a little bit to use the guy. He's one of the best players in the world.
No, how does that explain Diaz? Because Diaz isn't that good.
He's good.
Diaz isn't on the level of Mohamed Salah. Certainly wasn't last year. And I completely agree with Jerry. Last year, we weren't let down by the fact that we didn't score enough goals. I'm pretty sure we were the top scorers in the league last year. It was like our second highest ever scoring season under Jurgen Klopp.
It was
The
like
problem
128, something like that.
It was a ridiculous number. The problem was Liverpool couldn't kill off games because we'd leave the door open for teams to get us. I'll put it this way: we spent 25 minutes at 1-1 with Sheffield United. They were the worst team the Premier League seen for about 9 years, and we spent 25 minutes at 1-1 with them at Anfield.
Did we go 1-0 down?
No, we went 1-0 up, and then they equalised, and it took a McAllister screen,
and then they had one cleared off. We cleared one off the line as well, if I remember rightly.
Something like that. Yeah, it was a mixture of the two, the combined. But defensively, it was a real problem. Liverpool scored in every game bar one last year, 1 or 2. They scored in every game but 1 or 2 last year, which is ridiculous.
So did the opposition.
That's the problem. This year,
United was one of those one. I think United at home was one of those
it was
games
United and it was Crystal Palace at home. I think they're the two that we didn't score in.
Yeah.
And that Crystal Palace at home game, that's one where you look at it and go, the attackers let you down. But you shouldn't be in a situation where you need your attackers to bail you out constantly. If you don't concede, you only need to score 1 goal.
There was a wild stat. There was a wild stat that I heard last year, and the only team that conceded more goals than us in the first 15 minutes of games was actually Sheffield United.
Oh, yeah, we were horrendous.
That's how bad
it became a running joke. We conceded first in half the games last season. It was unsustainable.
Yeah, that was a crazy run. I must say, when we were conceding first, I think even the season before we were conceding first quite frequently. It was crazy.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We did.
You could have made a lot of money if you were a betting man last year on betting on Liverpool to go 1-0 down.
That's why I say going back to it, it's like if Salah's injured, then obviously the manager's got to go and find a way of us to be able to go and score 1 goal. And ultimately, that's what he needs to do. If he can get 1 goal and Liverpool don't concede, you win the game. It's as simple as that.
But Jerry, do you think this defensive structure is
Yeah.
If you guys continue the way you play now,
100%.
guys, Konate and Van Dijk are playing at a level that I have not seen 2 defenders ever play at the same level together, ever. By the way,
did you not watch Van Dijk and Matip?
Bar Franco Baresi, and the older people would know Maldini and Franco Baresi.
No, but even like
I watch about
Wait.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Hold on.
No, I'm not doing anything.
Yes.
The way Konate and Van Dijk, I'm gonna say this again, and I said it to Igal. The way Van Dijk and Konate defend in spaces this season is absolutely crazy to me. The way not only Van Dijk reads the game, the way I'm seeing Konate reads the play before it happened, it looked like Saliba of last season. That is combined with the leadership of Van Dijk and the way this guy wins all these duels, it is crazy.
Okay.
And also last part is that Trent is not bombing forward like he used to be. So Konate is having a less of a job to do than what he used to do last season, the season before.
But it's all of those combined though. It's structurally, it's Trent not bombing forward. It's the fact that Robertson's tucked in and they're very narrow. They make underlapping runs instead of overlapping runs. It's the fact that when Liverpool press, they don't press gung ho, press into the man. They stand off you and let the centre backs have the ball and pass left to right, and they force you to go and play in the midfield and then try and pounce. It means that you can make the pitch much smaller when you haven't got the ball, which means that Konate's got less distance to cover. Because last season when he was available, Konate was still winning his duels. The problem was he's having to sprint 40 yards to win the duel against Martinelli. Whereas this season, he's more central. And ultimately, the centre-back pairings or centre-back partnerships always do better when the team's narrow and compact. That's just basic principles of football. So if Liverpool are compact, of course that everyone's going to do better defensively.
But you aren't as compact as you think.
We are.
Tsimikas has been better defensively. Trent's been better defensively.
We don't concede. We do not concede counterattacks.
And we don't concede big chances.
I'm telling you. Hold on. I'm telling you right now.
Because Van Dijk and Konate have been amazing.
No,
go ahead.
No,
guys.
wrong.
Wrong.
Here's what happens, right? The way that Liverpool play this season, we start games slow on purpose. We're pragmatic on purpose. If we concede the ball in the opponent's half of the field, no matter how many people are attacking us, the midfield gets back and they equal the numbers, right? So we never have an odd man rush, which ultimately starts with the midfield. To me, the reason why the defense looked so poor last season was because the midfield was wide open, right? Even go back another year when we lost 5-2 to Real Madrid. All 5 of those goals were counterattack goals. When you look at us last season, when we got ripped open through transition. And it made us look like we were wide open, but we weren't. We just had a high line with a gaping midfield who, conceded the ball through sloppy play, and then we got countered, odd man rushed. We don't allow odd man rushes anymore. Because the midfield is more compact, because the midfield is more organized, because they all come back together, that makes Konate and Virgil look 1,000 times better than, I think that they're the best center back pairing in the world, but you can't just look at them and say they're the reason why. Like Trent is not, vacating space. Robertson or Tsimikas is not vacating space, and neither is Gravenberch or McAllister. So we're always defending in at least 6, if not 7. Do they win a lot of one-on-one duels? Yes, but Konate's been doing that for years. The only thing that set him back was injuries. Konate has also always been a world-class passer of the ball. Everyone seems to forget the 2022 World Cup when he put in Kolo Muani from literally the halfway line, and Emi Martinez is the only reason why Argentina won the fucking thing. So Konate, to me, is just, he's consistently showing how good he is because he's not getting hurt. And he's not getting hurt because he's not covering as much space as he used to, because he doesn't have to be going sprinting, defending Martinelli and Havertz at the same time, because Trent is stuck playing the 10 in a, however, I don't even have the words, the system that we were playing last season. So the defense looks unbelievable because it's more compact. And it looks more compact because we don't allow odd man rushes, and we don't really concede a lot of opportunities in transition. And when you look at the goals that we've conceded this season, 90% of them have been individual brilliance. And when you look at the goals last season, 90% of them were a transition counterattack. All these guys were doing all of this defending when teams were trying to break us down, which is exactly what teams have to try to do now because they can't counter us. So they have to slow build up. And we're just defending the same way that we did last year. It's just people are looking at the defense the wrong way. Go, Jamie. Go ahead.
If you look at the difference of last season, our fittest players at the moment are actually our defenders, where last year they were our most injured players because of the work they had to go through so much. Virgil had a different partner every week. It was crazy. He always had a different centre back pairing.
Want to play 30 games?
Yeah, it just shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. Because Konate has to run too much. All of his injuries were in training. My bad, Jim.
And if you look at Konate as well, I know they put Konate on a strict diet, and he lost a little bit of weight in the pre-season. They made him a little bit leaner.
A lot of the players
they put him on a different program, stuff like that, to keep him fit. This is the longest Konate's ever played in a row for club and country, which is crazy to think about it, but. Yeah, if you can get the best out of Virgil and Konate all season and keep them fit for the whole season, Liverpool go very, very close.
I think Konate and Gravenberch have played 140% of games than they would normally, already. I think Gravenberch has played more games this season than he did for Liverpool last season, and pretty much Bayern Munich as well. He's irreplaceable now. We can't not play him in the big games now. And just the way we play now, we play differently. What we do now is we cut off passing lanes instead of pressing really high and just chasing the man around like their goalkeeper and defender. We actually cut off the passing lanes more now, and it causes an overload on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, and we force their team to either put the ball out or to try and play it back to the goalkeeper in a dangerous position. And we catch people out so many times. How many times have we seen one of our attackers almost nick the ball off a goalkeeper in a game? I've seen that numerous times now. And that's by design. All of these little intricate plays that we do, it's all down to the coaching. The whole team have kind of gone up a level on being coached. I love Klopp and I love what he did with us. But he really didn't coach the players as much as he should have.
Listen,
Mo's just asking questions.
100% Rec. But the only other
I
thing
didn't say anything, bro. Matt just did it on his own.
The only other thing that I want to say about this defense is that I think that the key difference between the way that we defend now and the way that we defended previously is we force the ball to the wings, right? Because Trent and because Robertson are actually in defensive positions, look at the amount of times teams try to attack us down the flank, right? And then every time they do, Trent is there to either shuffle him out or be my guest, cut inside and meet my good friend Ibrahima Konate, who's just going to take the ball right off of you, right? We don't really concede space in the center of the park. And because we don't concede space in the center of the park, that forces you out wide. And this league has a criminal.
So is it Arne Slot or Gravenberch? You know what? Gravenberch as well has been doing so much work off the ball that people think that Gravenberch is good only on the ball. And
Great off the ball.
I've seen Gravenberch many times do the interceptions inside the 18, like at the edge of the penalty box as a cut back, cover Robertson, cover Trent. I've seen him do that many, many times. And people this goes unnoticed because how good he is on the ball. But he has been absolutely, and people think that, Caicedo has been good and everything. I think Gravenberch has been more consistent than anyone else in the league.
That's what happens when you have a defensive unit and not individual defenders trying to win 1v1 battles for the entire game. As everyone said, I don't necessarily think the principles of our defending are that different to what we've done last year, but we do it as an actual unit rather than Konate can cover all of that, and then Van Dijk can cover all of that, and then when he plays, Endo can win a couple tackles in there. Now, everyone is pulling at the same thing. How many times are we seeing our wingers end up at fullback? When there's a sustained spell of pressure against us, you'll see Salah or you'll see Diaz or you'll see Gakpo, whoever's out wide, dropping right up alongside the fullback to help out defensively. That is that's one thing that seems to be forgotten as the years went under Jurgen Klopp. And I know people don't like, because guess what? This is not me saying Jurgen Klopp was bad. This is not me saying that he should, he was all racist at the other. But it is a logical thing to suggest that Liverpool got worse defensively under Jurgen Klopp towards the end. When Liverpool were winning stuff under Jurgen Klopp, when Liverpool were challenging for the very top honours, when Liverpool were making Champions League finals, Liverpool weren't necessarily the highest scorers in the league. Weren't necessarily I think at one point weren't even the second highest scorer in the league. But you know what we had? The best defence.
Yeah.
Every 18-19, 19-20, 21-22. Best defence, joint best defence with Man City.
And that's when we won everything.
It's Virgil van Dijk.
Exactly.
When Virgil van Dijk is at his best.
That's discrediting the others around him. Joel Matip was playing in that time, and Joel Matip was very good.
And Joe Gomez.
Joe Gomez for 2 of them years.
He's only one common dominator in this, right?
What has to be understood is, yes, Liverpool have been, especially in the Jurgen Klopp, renowned for being this attacking, exciting, high pressure team. But Liverpool's success only comes when they've got a good defense. That was what had to be fixed.
You've only seen you have seen one era of success in your life, so don't say Liverpool's success.
But also, I mean, it's fair enough to say. It's always fair enough to say for any team. It's fair enough to say for any team. Like most teams who win the league probably have top 3 defense along with the top 3 attack. So it's not just a Liverpool thing.
No teams ever won the Premier League that's conceded more than 8 chances in a game. That's a stat. Like,
what do you mean in one game?
Yeah, like if teams concede more than 8 chances in games,
who concedes 8 chances in a game? That's a horrific.
I think he means on average.
On average.
Across a whole season, if you're conceding 8 chances a game, you're in trouble. I mean, I don't have the numbers.
I think you get relegated if you concede average 8 chances a game.
No, because there's a difference between a chance and a big chance. If it was a big chance, then you're in relegation.
We do not concede big chances. The only big chances that we concede are from set pieces, and everyone on the planet does that. Literally, Preston North End could score a corner goal against Liverpool. Wrexham United could score on a quarter against Liverpool. Any team in the world can score on a corner. If you look at what we've conceded from open play, it is literally a banger. Hudson-Odoi's off the post. Christian Pulisic, crazy near post finish. Bukayo Saka doing rubbo dirty. Like, these aren't like what we concede is not sustainable. Like the types of goals that we let in isn't sustainable for any other team in the world. If that was your team that was scoring like that, you'd say, I'm not doing shit because I can't score unless someone pulls it out of their ass. So, this defense has been the best that it has been in at least 5 years.
In
It
years.
reminds, yes,
Ever.
yes.
What
Donny-
I will say is right now we're outperforming our expected goals conceded by quite a significant amount. I think it's like 4.5 goals or something like that.
Yeah.
It's probably the trend is probably not going to trend that way for the rest of the season, because otherwise we'll be outperforming our expected goals by like 16, 17 goals. That's probably not going to happen. So I would expect some reversion to the mean. This sounds a bit technical to people. It might sound like nonsense, but is that doesn't happen. You don't have
Not all of us in here.
Yeah, no. But I mean, you don't have teams who outperform
just say
goals conceded by
it will
16
average
goals.
out. It'll average out at the end of the season. That's
Well,
what my little
it'll be
brain
close.
can
Like
understand.
I think, like
Especially when we play
Arsenal, for example, last season I think they outperformed their expected goals conceded by 6.5 or something, and that's across the whole season. So we probably will start conceding goals at a slightly higher rate, unless we don't. Right? We still have the opportunity to keep up that rate, but I think it's going to be difficult.
Donny here is saying, what if adversity doesn't hit? I don't think we will have a massive blip.
I think
I
it's
agree
hard
with
to
that.
predict what will happen with Liverpool this year because you can't necessarily use what happened in years gone by. You knew what would happen in years gone by because of the style of football. We were so hectic and
catch you up
so
in the
full
end.
throttle. It
Catch you up in
killed
the
us
end.
at the end of every single season, regardless of if we won anything or not. At the end of the season, we were blowing out our arse. This year, I mean, we've had less injuries. The manager's got a very different idea on recovery and training. And he's a lot different with his subs, i.e. Trent's coming off in pretty much every game, provided that he doesn't get injured beforehand. And he's looking at the key players and the red zones and stuff a lot more closely. So there's bigger chance that if we're thinking about, it's going to happen, I think there's as big a chance of something doesn't happen, something new might happen.
Thank you.
Something different might happen.
It's not only that.
Every single show I do with every single rival of Liverpool, everything I talk about, when is the blip happening? When is Liverpool going to? I'm like,
can I mention one thing, Mike? One thing as well.
Yeah.
And this is a massive difference in Liverpool now and Liverpool over the past couple of years. The team are not chasing to win the game. We're not chasing to get a goal to win the game.
Yeah, game state.
So the undue stress on the players where they're running that extra mile or two in the last like 70 and 80 minutes is not happening anymore because we're winning the game and we're just passing the ball around, and it's the opposition that are actually doing the running instead of us because they're trying to chase the game. And that's where I think the difference is between whether we get over the line this year is whether we get over the line the years before.
One thing
K-Mac's right, because it's not just that. Klopp's style was relentless. We get a goal, we go for another goal. We get that goal, we go for another goal. So you're playing very, very intense football across potentially the whole of the game.
The only time Klopp's
we're a lot more
slowed
happy
down
to
was
kind
when
of
we didn't want it
retain possession a little bit. And yeah, exactly. We're a lot of time we get one goal up, and then we'll be a lot more methodical. We'll take our time.
We were 5-0 up against Man United, and he started to slow it down. That was the one time where I wanted him to keep it going.
One thing I'd say when it comes to Slot more so than anything is I think there's less emotion involved, like in every aspect. He's not he's not motivating players with emotion. Of course, he is to a certain extent, but it's not Klopp. Klopp looked like he's laying his life on the line. Do you know what I mean? Explaining how hard his upbringing was to motivate the players and
crying. So
but really just being emotional.
Don't forget the Black Forest.
Exactly, the Black Forest, and then obviously the emotional connection with the fans and stuff. Slot looks so much more measured that teams always operate good when teams are performing well. They always operate in the image of the manager, and what the way Liverpool are playing right now is very calm, and it suits the types of it suits Van Dijk's a very calm individual. You look at, do you know what I mean?
Salah.
I also think Gravenberch as well, and Gapco. You're right. You're absolutely
but that's what I'm saying. But you look at Curtis Jones, very calm individual. Do you know what I mean? When you've got these calm presence, you can really see how they're performing really, really well because they seem very, very, very calm. And I think even like a Nunes as an example, that's a bit more erratic. Even he's kind of calmed down a bit, even in his general play, because he's in that environment where it's not, oh, we have to go to win this. And even last season, you know, coming out and saying that he's leaving and stuff, the emotion that it brought out of the team means that you're going to be mentally drained by the end of it.
Tom almost cried, yes.
Right now, Liverpool seem just very kind of just focused, but it doesn't seem draining. And I think even as fans, we watching the games, and I don't get drained after watching a Liverpool match.
There's a better question.
Before you go in, I actually just want to echo this. The first time I saw this guy talk in a press conference, I said, this is a guy that can relay a message very calm and collective without being very emotional. That's just a sign of a good leader. I didn't know anything about this guy. You watch Amarim, look exactly the same. When you watch Amarim speak in a press conference, you know, this guy can sit in front of like 10, 20, 30 people and deliver a message.
Look at Tom's face there.
No, but the reality is, you know, when you watch Ten Hag, you watch Ten Hag talk.
He's funny as well.
You know, this guy Ten Hag
roast people as well, and he's funny. He's not arsey. He's funny.
The way, and this is something that is leaders. And like, let me tell you something. You know, Mourinho, when he joined the Premier League in 2004, you can tell that this guy can talk. He's not shy. He can deliver a message. He knows what he wants. That is the difference between a good leader. Alonso the same. You know what? Vincent Kompany is that kind of guy. He sits in front. Ten Hag is not. There are other people that are not. I'm going to tell you one other guy. Antonio Conte, for example. Antonio Conte only relays the message by screaming and yelling, the touchline, to the press, to everybody. That's how he works.
The thing is, Mo, it's a thing
it's
where...
reality, though. I saw a game when Antonio Conte was at the touchline.
I agree.
It's crazy.
But what I'm saying is, it's obviously it's different courses. Like, I can't sit here and think that emotional side doesn't work, because Mourinho had mad.
It is needed.
I know, but Guardiola has mad success with that, and we've seen the whole coaching session when he's like, "Do you know what I mean, Bernardini?" and he's screaming about it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's that way inclined as well. But then you have Carlo Ancelotti, that's always really calm. So for Liverpool right now, as Liverpool fans, we're experiencing something different, and we're just highlighting the.
You know why you needed that?
I'm not having
before Das comes in. You know why you need that? Your players are way more mature than the teams that needs motivational and this. You have Van Dijk, you have Robertson, they won league before. Salah, even Luis Diaz is 27, 28 years old. You know what I mean? Trent is 25. These guys need someone to relay the message instead of someone yelling at them from the touchline.
You're right, with a younger team, and you got like a Spurs Pochettino, like when they were doing really well, they had that type of manager. Liverpool done really well with that team when they were young.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead, Das. I'm sorry.
If you're going to make this argument of what happens when they fall off, like all things in life, you need to look at the opposite end, because I don't even think that Liverpool are playing their best football. Like, I don't think that we are playing 100%. I think that we're playing 70, if that, right? What happens when things actually start to truly click? What happens when all of the old habits are gone and this is truly Arne Slot's team and the team gets better? Because you can say that we're only 11 games in, so why are you talking about the top of the league? You can also say we're only 11 games in. Why on earth do you think that this is the best football that you are possibly going to play? Because in all likelihood, it's probably not. So what happens if we get better? What happens if from game to game, from now until the end of this calendar year, we get better and better and better, and these teams stay where they are? They don't start to improve. They remain stagnant. What happens when
we've got the biggest margin for improvements? So much room to improve.
What? I mean. Well, hold on, Tom.
Definitely Arsenal. What are you doing?
No. I'm going to disagree. Whoa, Tom. There's only one
Arsenal
position.
have been playing rubbish. Arsenal been playing rubbish.
Arsenal been playing rubbish. But that is down to their own mistakes. That is down to their own
but hold on. But the way that improvement
is down to stuff that Mikel Arteta is responsible for. I'm saying Liverpool have the biggest margin for improvement because we have had a manager in charge for 15 games. We've got a manager who openly comes out in pretty much every interview and says, "I'm still making these guys do some of Klopp's things because they still need the old things." That's why I'm saying there's the biggest room for improvement, because this is still a Klopp team with a lot of Klopp philosophies there. Arne Slot has barely managed to put his hook in this team.
Tom, is this phase one?
It's phase 0.5. It's phase 0. Phase 0. We're not in a phase yet. The phase hasn't even begun.
Like,
hold on, but
He
Tom,
hasn't even got
No, but hold on.
player.
You
That
guys
is
think
stylistically-
during this
We're in
season?
a negative phase.
No,
We're
ask the
minus one.
question. Let me ask the question to Mike. You think this season you have more room to improve from where you are now than Arsenal, just to go back to where they have been playing last season? Are you?
I
agree.
think.
I agree.
I
What the
think.
fuck?
Yeah.
Hold on, Mo. Allow me
What are
to
you gonna
break it
get
down.
Centurion then?
Allow me to break it down. Right? If you look at our back line, I know that everyone says they want a center back, but ultimately, I don't think that it's priority number one. We have a lot of depth back there. You have 4 center backs, 2 left backs, 2 right backs. You know, you're pretty much in luxury town. When you look at the midfield, we don't have Harvey Elliott in there. I know that some people don't rate him as highly as I do, but I see him thriving in a system like this far more than Szoboszlai does. Everyone sits here every week. What does every Liverpool fan say every week? Holy shit, this Dominic Szoboszlai guy sucks. And that's all I ever hear. Yet we're winning every game. So Szoboszlai sucks, but we win. Okay, cool. So I pointed out one unit in my entire midfield that can be replaced by someone who isn't even playing yet. And then I still have more depth because I have Curtis Jones who's overperforming. I have Endo who can do a job. I've got Gravenberch, McAllister with Elliott. Then I have Szoboszlai on the bench. So I'm swimming in midfielders. The only actual position that I think that we could genuinely improve upon would be the 9. Like, we have 2 left wingers. We have Mohamed Salah on the right with Chiesa coming back from injury. Diogo Jota is too injury prone. Darwin Núñez has been fantastic, but you know, the guy converts 15% of his chances. The only actual objective position on this team that you could improve with the buying of someone else would be the 9. To get someone who can convert more than 15% of their chances and someone who can play 90% of the games this season without getting hurt every time someone falls on him. So yes, we have a ton of room for improvement, because if you get a 9 in there, think about how much pressure that takes off Mo. Now Mo doesn't have to feel like he needs to brigade 50 yards every time he gets the ball. Now Mo can think, you know, I don't need to score today because I have Marmoush in there. I could just get him the ball, and I'm one of the best passers in the league.
Do you know what's mad though? We're just kind of, and it's mad that I'm even going to say this, but I agree with the forward. We're not even thinking at the point that Slot still hasn't, as Tom alluded to, just got his style of play across to the play. Yeah, he hasn't gone and improved the players to the level that he potentially wants. If you go and listen to after the game, he always talks about the fact that, you know what, I'm still not happy. I think we could have done better. I don't think we kept the ball as well. I think we still rushed the play a bit too much. If Liverpool are doing what Slot's doing, I think you see a completely different team. And then there's an argument that Liverpool could actually go on to a different level because they're more cohesive. It's a normal progression of things. Klopp's Liverpool wasn't as good as they were in the first season as they were in the third or the fourth, right? So in a couple seasons' time, if everything goes well, we might be looking at this manager thinking, oh my God, like Liverpool, do you know what I mean? Got a serious manager in their hands. So
yeah. I know Jerry has to go. Big up JJ. I know Jerry has to go. Channel is in the description. Big up JJ. Thank you so much.
Big up, man. So there's one thing to be said. I don't necessarily think we can improve massively in terms of the number of points we can score, because we've been almost perfect, right? We've dropped 5 points in, So there's not much room for improvement. But I think there are areas of the game where we
could have won. We could have beat Forest though, Rack. We could have beat Forest.
Yeah. But you know, even if we are playing, you know, okay, we with Klopp, we had a time where we won 17 games in a row, drew against Man United, and then won 18 games in a row.
Thanks to David Coos. It was David Coos all along. He's robbed me of the greatest run in English football. Little rat.
You know what? You're not wrong.
And that kind of form will never be replicated in any top league in the world again, because that is absolutely crazy. 17 games, dropped 2 points, 18 games. I think we scored out of a possible 109, 107 points or something like that.
At home, Tom.
It was. Yeah, it was.
It was United away.
It was United away. It was United away.
It went from the back end of 18-19 all the way through. Then you had the draw at United
until Watford.
It was VAR, and it took it all the way to Watford when Dejan Lovren. It's Lovren and Coos all along.
Well, Tom, it's actually really important that Tom says that, because you know the one thing that no one talks about is how we've played we have had a ridiculous amount of home games this first half of the season, and then the second half of the season everything's going to go away. So if I were a rival fan, I wouldn't be talking about a fall off. The angle that I would go from would be, well, you have to go away everywhere. Literally, like you have to go to the Etihad, you have to go to Stamford Bridge, you got to go to Villa Park, you got to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You got to do all that. That's the angle you should be taking. But no one is taking.
Can I mention something on that as well, Mike? Because you're absolutely spot on with that. We have got a lot of away games, but the 2 away games where when any team that goes to those grounds, which is the Emirates and also the Annex, Brighton's, they don't outpossess the other team. We've gone there and had more possession in those games and controlled those 2 games. We did beat Brighton, and obviously we got the draw against Arsenal. And there's a lot of Liverpool
Brighton was home, wasn't it?
No, that was away. We beat them away.
That was in the Carabao Cup, though.
That's the Carabao Cup.
It doesn't matter. You've got to play what you got to play, and we've
Tyler Morton was great.
We've played more possession than those teams, which makes me think that we can go away and control games. So I'm not particularly that worried about it. And we've also got a lot of good players that scored a lot of goals away. Like, Diaz loves scoring at the moment. Mo Salah scores loads of goals away.
We've only dropped 2 points away this season. So.
I know.
Yeah. And we've only got look, in the next few games, we've also got Newcastle away, and we've got who's at Newcastle and Everton. So if we come through those games unscathed, they are going to be 2 of our tougher away games, right? If we come through those unscathed, either drop a couple of points or win both of them, I'm fully on board. I'm going to say we're going to win the league.
That Everton game is going to be a really interesting one for me.
What's the last derby at
Everton?
What's the last derby at Goodison Park?
No.
Fucking smash Everton.
Hold on, Tom. I want to go to Southampton first. Okay, I don't care about Everton.
I know you are a Scouser and from Liverpool, but you're gonna smash Everton.
No.
I want to get through Southampton.
I don't.
Let's not talk about Everton. Let's talk about Southampton. Because we're not very good against shit teams.
Jurgen Klopp at Goodison Park was not very good. Jurgen Klopp teams at Goodison Park weren't very good. We had one really good win there, 4-1 in the 21-22 season when Benitez was in charge of Everton. We beat them 1-0 in the 16-17, and I think that was it for wins against Everton at Goodison Park under Jurgen Klopp. A lot of the time it would be draws. We had the loss, obviously, last year. That was the side where Jurgen Klopp was too emotional.
There was the 2-0 with Coot. Remember that?
Yeah. When fucking the offside goal in the last minute, which wasn't offside, but it is what it is. I just you look at games in a season, and they might not be the greatest teams. Everton are not Man City, but Everton to Liverpool cause problems that a lot of other teams in the Premier League don't because of the emotional impact. And
which game is harder, Tom? Everton away or Newcastle away?
Everton away.
In your opinion?
Everton away.
Everton away.
I can't remember the last time we didn't win at St James's Park. I think it was in lockdown.
I don't think Newcastle have been great at home this season, by the way. I don't think they've been good this season.
We beat Newcastle 1-0 in 21-22 with a Cater goal. We beat them 2-0 in 22-23 when we were really shit and they got Champions League football. We still beat them 2-0. Last year, beat them 2-1 down to 10 men for 70 minutes with a Darwin Núñez brace. Everton's always going to be a more tough game for Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp teams typically struggled because it would be emotional and we'd end up playing the occasion rather than the game. Yeah. If Arne Slot can come in, and this is why I say it's a big one for me, if we can treat that game as we are playing 14th in the league, if we can try and take as much emotion out of that game and get the job done, that will prove to me a lot more than
huge.
You guys know what the problem with the Everton game is, right? That you play Newcastle on Wednesday and Everton you play on Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
12:30 as well.
You know you play at 12:30.
They've put the last ever Goodison derby at 12:30 on a Saturday.
No.
I think it's crazy.
I've got to listen to Joe Cole and Rio Ferdinand talk about that game. I've got a
I think it's actually great.
And that's why I think Newcastle's our hardest game coming up.
I think it's not Newcastle.
Stadiums.
I think it's the hardest game.
To be honest with you, I actually think it's the Man City game at home. Yeah. You know why? You guys know if you beat Man City, that put them really in the rearview mirror. Like Man City will really be playing catching up for a lot of time. for a lot of time, they will be trying to catch
Right,
Liverpool.
you a minute ago, you just told us to forget about Southampton. Now you're saying that's going to be 8 points. What about Southampton?
No, well, hold on. I'm just saying. We got to get through. First, we got to get through Southampton. We got to hope. We got
Gonna
to
be
hope.
hard. Southampton's going to be a hard game because of the
100%.
internationals.
But remember, Tottenham
You're right.
are coming off of an international break, and statistically, Tottenham are actually equal with Manchester City. The results is what has destroyed them. But if you look at their goals for and goals against, they are identical to Manchester City.
But that's the
Tottenham-
problem with
Tottenham-
stats.
Tottenham can do
Jekyll and
something.
Hyde, Tottenham.
Hold on,
That's why a
Hyde.
5-0 win is way worse than a 4-1-0 wins. Because at
Okay,
the
but
end,
hold on.
that's what they did.
But I mean, I don't want to get too deep into Tottenham, but a lot of of their issues is that their players just suck.
All I
It's
can
not the
tell you
way
that I
it-
failed to
it-
get Tottenham panel to do a show.
but-
That's all I can tell you.
If somehow Tottenham gets a result, all of a sudden you're what, 7 points ahead of Manchester City? Now that changes. Now if you beat them, that's 10. If we both win, then it's 8. It's like, but also we're kind of just overlooking Real Madrid at home at the midweek because that's going to be a game that
I don't think
that
it
burns us out.
matters.
The Real
I
Madrid
genuinely-
game don't matter out of all these
It doesn't
games.
matter
It's the least
anymore.
important.
It doesn't
The least
matter
important.
anymore because
From
they
a
won
fitness
all the other
perspective-
4 games.
From a
The least
fitness
important.
perspective, it does. From a fitness perspective, it 100% matters because we're
The
going to go
least
out there and try to
important.
win that game.
No,
The least important.
yes.
I don't think
It doesn't
that
matter.
game's really a vital game now. It
Nah.
might have been.
The result doesn't
Results
matter, but I
wise,
know how
no.
we're going to play.
Fitness
We are
wise,
going to
yeah.
play.
Fitness wise.
We're
I'm
not
talking about
rotating
fitness.
against Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
like,
You know,
the
kind of
results
like-
doesn't matter.
Imagine Real Madrid. Imagine Real Madrid rocking up to Anfield. Fans paid for the
Gerard, we
tickets,
were-
top-notch price, and then they
Tyler
come
Morton
on
and
and say,
Trey
Yeah.
Antonio are
Van
starting in
Dijk's
the
are
bench.
rocking up.
Gerald Kwanzaa's in centre back.
Yeah, this is why.
It's like when we went to Bernabeu that one time with Barini up front and Colo Torre at centre back.
Well, so-
This is why I think Newcastle actually will be the hardest game of the lot.
Imagine
The
that.
Re-
But
the
listen,
Real
I wanna-
the Real Madrid and Man City game, Liverpool play full strength, yeah. And then the Newcastle game, because you got the Everton game, it's a Merseyside derby. They'll want to play full strength on that, and that's at the end of a busy week. The Newcastle game is the game where I can see he has to make some rotation, and that's why the Newcastle one could be the most tricky out of all of them.
Indo time. It's Indo time.
They're playing. They'll be playing midweek. When are Newcastle playing? Are they playing on the Wednesday as well?
That's who we play on
Newcastle-
the Wednesday.
Newcastle don't have any football. Right.
That's
I think it's
We
only
play
us that gets
Newcastle on
those
the Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
That's the Wednesday game.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
I think it's like December 4th.
And Newcastle play. By the way, Newcastle plays Saturday. They play Monday, Saturday, Wednesday. So they really have time to recover between the games.
It's bullshit. But you know what? We're
Okay.
gonna slap them anyway because they haven't listened. The teams that have gone there this season, they have played worse than Newcastle have played good. And it's just that simple.
Let me do a couple of these super chats before moving on. Jay saying last year Allison had to make way too much 1-1 saves. That this doesn't happen this year. Teams are not running at us with numbers like last year. I don't know why the reason is, and I think it's because Van Dijk is absolutely amazing, and that's what the reason is. I just
No, but
Defense
he
starts in
said before-
midfield.
Mm,
Midfield,
yes,
then
exactly.
defense.
Well, Van Dijk probably is the best one-on-one.
I wanted to get to
Premier League
couple,
history.
I have 2 points left to discuss on the show, and they're about the midfield and about the who's needed the transfer market. Just 2 points. Plus, he has only managed 15 games. I think the team not even peaked under his coaching yet.
It's not even got closer peaking under Arne
No.
Slott's coaching.
We're as flat.
There
We're
was so
as
much
flat
talent.
as this rod. We are literally as flat as this rod. There has been no peak. There has been no
Whoa.
movement. The
No
mountain has
marriage
not even
guidance.
begun.
No marriage guidance here.
What
mate.
is
No
what,
marriage
what is that thing? What is that thing?
What is
It's
that you're
a-
holding?
It is a candle lighter. I like to fiddle with shit. It lights my candles. Right now.
It makes it sound even
But
worse.
Mike's got these. Mike's one of these guys that goes on Amazon and just buys random shit.
I buy fucking
Candlelight,
everything. I buy everything.
Random shit.
Well, I like to
No,
light my
that's
candles. I
part of
like my
branding.
room to smell fresh. But we haven't even got off the ground.
dashing.
Like, dude, our bags aren't even
I like
packed.
to
We can make
imagine
the
it.
journey
If Mike's
up
in a
Everest
stressful
yet.
stream now, he's just got like 5 candles set below him. If someone says something he doesn't agree, he
Oh,
blows
dude,
one out and lights it up
I
again to
got-
calm himself down.
I got a scissor.
Yeah.
I like to do this with a scissor. I'll swing a scissor around. I'm always fiddling with something.
Tom is saying, shameless. I need Heitinga lifting the league or the UEFA Champions League.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
Oh,
That
shit.
would be
Everton fans
fucking
would hate that.
amazing.
It's John Heitinga is in the coaching staff, right?
He's
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's played for
Okay.
Everton, didn't he?
2 points left in this. The number one, the contracts and priority in the market for the January, if you have one. And the second one is Alexis McAllister, that I think he has been the most underwhelming player at Liverpool this season, in my
Oh,
opinion.
I'm talking to Ryan again. Oh my god.
I'm
Tom,
not
he's
talking
not
to
wrong.
Ryan.
He's not
not
wrong,
wrong.
but it's all,
I'm not talking to
but
Ron.
he's not wrong, but it's also
Why
not
is
his
it
fault.
so hard? Why don't be protect Tom? I know you better than this. You're
He's
not a
been really
protective
important.
person.
He's been really.
I don't think he has been as
important
good. I don't think he has been as
The
good.
one game.
He has not
Liverpool
shown
lost
me
this
the
year-
level. He's just very
No,
flat.
no,
I think
no,
he's
because
injured.
everyone is judging him by the role he had to play at the back end of last year when Szoboszlai was injured, and we were running a midfield of Gravenberch, Endo, McAllister. He was the only fucker who could attack in that midfield. So he had to go play as an attacking midfielder. Therefore, he was getting more involved in the final third. This year, Szoboszlai's fit, and Jones plays further forward now because he's
McAllister
not
ain't
injured.
fit. He's not fit.
And McAllister, I think, has been injured since Palace, but that's a different side of the arguments. But
Well, he's
McAllister
injured
has
now
to
as
play
well,
a
isn't he?
deeper
Injured
role.
now as well.
McAllister is now doing a facilitating role where he is there.
Yeah,
to
he's just
basically
another
link up
guy.
everything.
Basically, he's just another guy
but-
on the pitch.
But
I don't think he's
game that
important
Liverpool-
at all.
The game,
I think he's
the
really
game that
important to
he is
Gravenberch.
though, because the game that Liverpool lost this year, we weren't losing when he was on the pitch. The moment he goes off, we start getting cut through like. you
Oh,
wouldn't
we're not
believe.
gonna do that. Oh my God, you're picking that game and saying that you
I've
you
got
lost
other
because of him.
I've got other
Yeah,
games. I've got other games. Crystal
reason-
Palace.
You literally
but when we were
lost
1-0.
one game this season. You're not doing that, and because
The
he
reason
didn't play.
why he looks poor is because he's not like I don't believe that Alexis McAllister is the double pivot guy who's going to carry the ball into the opposing half, which essentially is the position that he has been in this season. McAllister is the guy that you want on the edge of the box. Every time he's been on the edge of the box this season, he has created danger. He hit the post against Leipzig from outside the box on the edge. He had the header against Brighton at home before we equalized that should have gone in, but Verbruggen decided to have a worldie that day, right? Every time he's up there, he creates in those pockets of space like Szoboszlai can't do it. But because of the way that Arne Slot views this system, Szoboszlai needs to be there and McAllister needs to be further back. I just don't think that he is physical enough, and maybe that's because he's injured, to look sensational in that position. But also at the same time, it's not like he's been terrible. He's had poor spells. He's had games where he can't be the controller, but I don't even think that that's his job.
I
And
never
think
said he's terrible. I think he's the most underwhelming guy in Liverpool this season.
compared
Can
to
I
how
explain-
everyone else is
Can
performing.
I explain my point, right? If you have Mohamed Salah, and Mohamed Salah is giving you 15 goals, 12 goals a season, only 20 GA, you would say that is impressive in comparison with other people. But that is so underwhelming for his level. The way we saw McAllister last season, the weapons that McAllister has at his disposal, I think McAllister has been just another guy this season that Curtis Jones can do a better job than him. That is my point. When I say McAllister has been bad, I mean has been bad for his level, for what I'm expecting
No, but
from
it's not
someone
his
like
fault.
him.
I
It's
don't
not his
hold that
fault.
against him. No,
Okay,
because
but you
it's
agree
not-
with me that he has been.
No,
Now
if
you're going to
you-
find
if
the
you want-
excuses. Now you're going to go to the excuses. But you agree with me in the statement that he's been underwhelming yet? Yes? or
No, I don't agree on your statements, but
Oh my
it's clear
God.
that we're never going to agree on that statement.
Literally
We're never
said
going to.
that, bro.
Tom, let me mention something.
He
Okay,
literally started the thing by saying it's not its fault. When you say it's not its fault, that means you agree with the statement.
I
Now
don't.
you're gonna go to the reasons why this happening.
I
Right?
don't know.
You're
I'm
literally
saying
saying that.
I'm saying that your reasoning and your line of logic, my disagreement with that is you're judging it off of what he was doing last year in an entirely different system with an entirely different job. I cannot say you've been shit oh wait, you're doing a different job. So what? You're not doing the same things as last year. Why am I holding that against him?
What does McAllister offer then on the pitch?
McAllister has been very good defensively
Passing,
this year.
Tempo,
defensive.
Tempo
pressing,
control, much important.
controls the game.
He's been quite important at getting us up the pitch.
Tempo controller.
Mo, let me just explain.
Actually, I actually think it's crazy that Tom is saying tempo.
Let me just explain why I feel McAllister isn't doing what he's doing last year to this season. First of all, he's not playing on the right-hand side. So he scored all his goals when he played on the right-hand side. And he played more attacking. Okay, so he's not playing there. He's playing on the left. And also, a major reason why he's not playing so great this season, as in on the eye, he's having to do so much work for Robbo because Robbo is just not great. He's just not a great player right now. Like, he's not been that good this season. Like, he's been getting through games here and there. And Mac's having to cover a lot of what is not going on the left-hand side. And we haven't been fantastic on the left-hand side. Like, we haven't really attacked much. Like, most of Diaz's goals have come from the centre, from him drifting into the centre of the pitch, not from the left-hand side. McAllister isn't going to be that advanced midfielder. Because
what is McAllister? Can you tell me what is McAllister?
He's an advanced. He should be playing as a 10. McAllister should play.
Do you think McAllister is as creative as an Odegaard or a Cole Palmer, for example?
I think he could be.
Yeah,
he could be.
What passes he can do.
If you ask me, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think
that's his role in a do you think that's his role in a slot team, right? Because one thing we say is slot is more. He doesn't want us to take unnecessary risks. He's more.
We never got Zubimendi. We never got Zubimendi. McAllister's playing where Zubimendi would have played. Like
I don't.
They're not the same player. They're not the same player.
I don't think McAllister lasts in an Arne slot side. I'm going to say it right now. Oof. I just don't think he does. He gets run past. He gets run past far too much. He loses tackles far too much.
He does.
I don't.
He's got one of the best tackle success rates in the Prem.
He has.
He gets tackled. He gets beaten up.
No, he has. He really has.
I would personally.
McAllister wins over 5 duels a game.
And McAllister's shit in the number 10. He's not a number 10. McAllister's best position is that more advanced state where he goes into attacking areas, where he gets to run into attacking areas. Yeah, that I think we can all agree with that. He's not a 10 where he's waiting for the ball in them attacking areas. He prefers to run in. Like, go and watch him for Argentina. You know, go and watch the World Cup final again. Watch how quick McAllister actually looked in the World Cup final compared to now. It's like he's lost everything. He can't move. Now, that's either because Klopp killed him last season by playing the lone six and his legs are gone, or he's just got constant injuries and he's not fit enough and he just needs a rest. So it's one of the two. And we all blame Szoboszlai a lot because of his quality on the ball. But because McAllister's a big name, we all like him, support him. We're not going to give McAllister the same criticism as Szoboszlai. And that's what we should be doing, in my opinion. If we're looking at
McAllister's been great this season.
Can I ask you guys? Okay, let me ask a question here. Which a better midfield do you guys think for Arne slot? Alexis McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, or you drop Szoboszlai, right? And you play McAllister, Curtis Jones, Gravenberch, or you drop McAllister and play Szoboszlai, and you play Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, and Gravenberch.
You said
Curtis Mack, Gravenberch.
McAllister plays, and McAllister can play.
You really think you can go? You think you can play with McAllister, Curtis Jones, and Gravenberch? It's fine.
Yes,
it's your opinion.
Because do you know what that allows you to do, Mo? And it's something that we have started doing in recent games. Have you noticed how it points to pressing structure changes from the 4-2-4 to a 4-1-4-1? That's because we switched the midfield into a 4-3-3. Now, you can't necessarily do that if Szoboszlai's in there because he's not a great 8. But if you play Jones, McAllister, and Gravenberch, either Jones or McAllister, whoever you want, both of them are good enough to play either as the 10 if you want to press in a 4-2-4, or as an 8 if you want to press in a 4-1-4-1. It gives you flexibility. I can't go against McAllister this year. If you're talking about an underwhelming play this year, I'm looking at Robertson and I'm looking at Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at McAllister, I have a lot of sympathy for the job he's got to do. And I think that a lot of the work that he does goes unnoticed because we saw a completely different side to him at the back end of last year. When we were signing McAllister, we were told we were going to sign one of the best playmakers in the league, one of the best promising attacking midfielders in the league. We signed him, and then we played him DMR for the season.
Played him like that.
Do you guys know the difference between the Brighton team that McAllister thrives at Liverpool? Brighton is one of the slowest teams in the league on the ball. The slowest teams in the league on the ball. That means you stand, you wait, you find a couple of passes, and that's it. The problem is with Liverpool, McAllister is being asked to receive the ball with the back to the goal. He's not good enough. He doesn't have the physical strength like a Gravenberch to shield and turn. He can't run around like Szoboszlai. And he can pass the ball, but Gravenberch does the same job because Gravenberch completes more passes than him, touches the ball more than him, and dictates the game. McAllister passing numbers have gone down from last season because Gravenberch has done a very good job in the DM dictating the tempo. It might not be his fault, but also I believe that McAllister in this system, he needs a specific way for him to shine. He needs a DM around him that will just do the tough work and the hard work, not someone like Gravenberch who's very good on the ball and will take the light away from him.
And
that's what Gravenberch has been done. Gravenberch has taken. Actually, Zubamendi will not. Okay, hold on.
No, if you want to ask anybody about McAllister, ask Messi. Just ask the world's greatest player.
I never analyze a team. I never analyze a team with Messi in it because you don't have Messi. And if you've been watching me for a while, this is a get
Argentina right now, and they ain't winning.
It's a get out of jail card. The problem with Zubamendi, if Zubamendi comes in, I think McAllister touches the ball even less than now because Zubamendi.
You know the problem. Well, not the problem. The player that I would love us to sign, but it's obviously not going to happen now. And I hope the rumors of us being
Declan Rice.
True. No. Carlos Baleba. That kid is going to be fucking incredible.
Serious.
And if there's any... the thing is, I don't want us to miss an opportunity by not bringing in trying to strengthen January.
There is a lot of smoke in that. There's a lot of smoke in that. Seriously. We've been looking at him for a long time.
That kid is going to be something else, man.
He's so similar. He's very similar to Gravenberch. Have you guys been noticed that? Very similar to Gravenberch in terms of like driving with the ball, turning, receiving the ball with the back to the opposition, and being able to turn. He's going to have two of these guys. You think he's going to play with two of these guys?
If he say we got another player to play alongside,
we need a destroyer, Mo. We don't need a destroyer. We don't play with destroyers now.
If Baleba came in and played alongside,
I mean, McAllister will never work as.
Would play alongside Gravenberch. Yeah, I think Gravenberch. I just don't see where McAllister plays. If you go and get someone in, because
he's a perfect 10,
he's not a 10. He's not a 10. He's just not a 10. He can't play with his back to goal. He can't play with his back to goal. He likes to run and look at the opposition in front of him. He likes to move forward into areas, not with his back to goal, waiting for the ball. He doesn't want to receive and wait. He wants to advance into some areas. You know.
Yeah, but I don't think.
If you played him a little bit more advanced than he is now. Yeah, if you play him a little bit more advanced now. If you play just a little bit more advanced, go a bit more license.
McAllister can play the Stengs role, or the Oku role. That's what he can play. He can play that role that Slot had with those two players, and he got goals, he got assists, he got massive amounts of creativity.
Can I ask a question that will trigger a lot of people? Seriously, trigger a lot of people in the chat as well, Liverpool fans. But it just came to my mind today now, but with the guys when Jimmy was talking.
Koku. Is it Koku or Oku?
What does McAllister have better than Enzo Fernandez?
What doesn't he have better than him? Come on.
He's on the pitch.
I thought we were being serious.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is he faster?
He's faster. He's faster. He's better in a duel. Yes, he's faster. He's faster.
Right now,
he's better in a duel. Right he's got better pass selection. He's more composed. He's better in the final third.
Okay. I'm just asking the opinion, and I wanted.
He doesn't have any controversies off the field.
All right.
Exactly. Like there's no shit.
By the way, it was just a question. I wanted to know.
McAllister is the reason.
I wanted to know what Liverpool fans think that McAllister, because is he stronger than Enzo?
Yes. Enzo shit.
And
Listen,
he's a better passer. Let me just okay, hold on.
He's a better passer.
He's a better passer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's faster.
No.
I'm not sure he's faster.
He can barely move at the moment, so I'm not.
I agree. And McAllister's not quick, but if we
he
see
can barely
Enzo
move.
Fernandez trying to track back,
Tom, I'm quicker, and I've got
Oh,
one
he's
leg.
so slow as well, but so is McAllister as well.
I've
Well,
seen
literally
McAllister
right
track
now,
wingers.
I've watched McAllister run this season. I've got one leg. I am quicker than McAllister. He looks like he's running in mud at the moment, and I think that's because of fitness. That's not his fault.
I think you
fitness,
split
yeah.
McAllister's season into two portions. You look at before he had to go off injured against Crystal Palace. Before he had to go off injured against Crystal Palace, I thought he was very good. I thought he was doing a lot of underrated work. After Crystal Palace and the injury, and then he went on fucking international duty, and despite being injured, was played. I don't think he's got over that injury yet, and we haven't given him the chance to because he's played every single game in between the October international break and the other one.
Tom, he hasn't had a rest in 2 years. He did the World Cup right to the end, and then he did the Copa America right to the end.
Well, I mean, I think we're
And he played
focusing
every
on
game for Liverpool. Like,
I think we're just focusing on McAllister too much because I don't think anything's changing in this midfield coming.
All right. Okay, let me do this.
For at least 8 months.
Okay, Slot didn't give Elliot a single minute this season.
He's been injured.
Isn't Elliot injured, Andy?
He hasn't been available for a single minute this season. He played every single preseason game and he cooked.
On international duty.
Let me just respond to the fraud. Sam, actually, at the current moment, McAllister doesn't start for us. Zielinski's better than him. Barella's better than him. And Hakan is better than him. Just to let you know.
Zielinski.
HUSAM.
Hakan's better than him.
I agree with that. I agree.
As a DM, Hakan is definitely better than him.
I give you Hakan Çalhanoğlu. I'm not giving you Zielinski.
And Barella, 100% is better than him.
You're not getting
And
Zielinski.
I think Zielinski at the current moment is better than him, 100%.
We can agree to disagree.
We agree to disagree.
We don't have to die on this hill.
Are Liverpool fans doing the Arsenal thing again with Inter? Anyway, go ahead.
No, I think you're.
The only thing I want to say.
By the way, Gravenberch might start
in case we have them in the Champions League later on.
You know the difference between us and you. We don't have Van Dijk and Salah. That is the difference. We have a fraud called Lautaro Martinez, and we don't have a defense as much as you.
Marcus Thuram.
Oh yeah, without the shadow of a doubt, Hakan is better than him. Allahu Akbar, Habibi. Without the shadow, as a DM, hold on. As a DM, would you
where they play? Yeah.
Hakan is definitely better than him as a DM. He's more athletic, better passing range as well, better shooter, better defender as well than him. 100%, better tackler than him. Okay, the contract situation. Forget McAllister now. Nothing is gonna change until he signs somebody. Trent, Van Dijk, Salah. You know what? I did a video on Trent and the contract and all the stuff. You know the majority of the comments said, "Don't give Trent the contract. Give Salah and Van Dijk the contract ahead of him. He's not a priority."
Well, okay. If you view this season, we all need to remember we have a new manager. So you have to completely.
Rack is disgusted, but that is the comments, Rack. These are the comments. I'm being serious. That's not my opinion.
You're
These are the comments.
You're hanging out in the wrong places, man.
I'm gonna explain.
But these are the comments of the people.
Which is fine.
That's so much money.
They're the wrong people.
It's not me, bro.
You have to view this from this season only, right? Like we have to view this from the sample size of under Arne slot because we're not going to play with our right back inverting. We're not going to play with our fullbacks being the creative outlets of the team. If you look at how Trent has played this season, defensively, he has been solid, but he has been solid in the sense that he's doing what a right back should do. He is performing at the level that a defensive right back should perform at, and he wasn't. So that makes him look far better, much like when Stefan Bajcetic came into this midfield 3 years ago, and everyone was like, this guy is the second coming of Christ, but he's just the only person with any quality who was available to play. So he's doing the fundamentals, but it makes it look spectacular because the fundamentals were gone, right? If you look at Trent going forward this season, he's a shadow of himself creatively. I would say that for every 10 passes, one of them finds their mark. Yes, you might score on that pass, but the other 9 are turnovers. Now, that's also due to the fact that he's not getting up the field. He's not playing that same style anymore. I know that when he inverted into the midfield, it helped against Brighton, but that's one game out of 16 where him inverting happened to help, and that was the solution. Also, not to say that Connor Bradley can't do that job, but I want to keep Trent but at the same time, you can't pay him 450 grand a week for this output. If this is the output that I'm going to get for 450,000 pounds a week, I'm never doing it, because I can get the same defensive output from Connor Bradley, and I'm not looking for my creative outlet to be at the right back. What Trent has done in the past is cash in the bank. He has won everything at this club. If he wants to go to Real Madrid, that's fine. He's an X factor on set pieces. He's an X factor for free kicks. He's like, he can deliver you that 1 in a million, assist. But if you look at the way that he's playing, it's not the same Trent. Like, we are not going to see the Jurgen Klopp Trent for Arne Slot, because he will never be in those same positions consistently. So, I'm not going to break the bank for him, if that makes sense. I don't think paying him 400. I don't think paying 450,000 grand a week for him to play like this is worth that. But at the same time, I don't think that him going to Real Madrid to get paid 450,000 pounds a week is even worth it for Real Madrid, because
he's not. He can't. No one's paying him that kind of money.
Well, that's just what
I
saw on the whole rumor mill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I realistically, look, we are one of the highest payers in the world, right? We are one of the biggest clubs in the world, so he will be compensated. There's not many places he can go and get paid more money. So I don't necessarily think it was a money issue. I think it will be if he wants to go to Real Madrid, which obviously has one of the biggest clubs in the world, new challenge, all that kind of stuff. I get it. I don't think we lose out to Trent. We shouldn't be losing out to Trent on money, because Mike is right. As a right back, he has been fantastic for us. I don't think, how many players are paid 450 grand a week in the world?
Even 400. Honestly,
De Bruyne's on 400.
Let's roll it back. If you pay him the same that you pay Salah, 350 is what he's playing right now, worth 350,000 pounds a week.
I think Virgil is on 220 right now on his current contract, and Trent's on 150. I think 220.
Trent's on 180.
Somewhere between 220 and 250. I think is a.
Do you know what the problem is?
I can't. What's Reece James on? Reece James, I think, is the highest paid.
250.
I think that is the top end of what we should be paying Trent. I understand we can't keep players at all costs. Mike's absolutely right. But I don't think Trent realistically should be looking for more than 250. That would also be like a weird.
I think he's going to ask for 300. I think that's 300.
Look, at the end of the day, look. Some of these players have done incredible things for us. They really have. Like Joel Matip was an absolute legend for us. Probably one of the best free transfers ever, if you ask me. Like, absolutely incredible player. But we just have to move on from players. Like we have to stop this fascination of they're going to stay with us for the rest of their lives. Like, it's just not going to happen with everybody. And I just think this is one which is probably going to leave us, because all the media are talking about, we've offered him 350 and he said no. All the media have said it. So many different outlets are now talking about, we're now.
How much do you think Real Madrid are going to offer him?
The highest paid Premier League? No, we're not. We're not going to offer him more than Mo Salah, because we're trying to get Mo Salah re-signed, and we're having difficulty.
Who's way more important? Who's way more important? And so is Virgil.
Sorry,
I would take 3 years from both of those guys over. I would getting Mo and
Trent's
Trent
wages in half and give it to those two, because they are too valuable in the way we actually play football right now. And I love Trent, and he's been amazing for us in the past. Like, you'll never forget some of the things he's done, but you can't hold the club to ransom, and we don't do that stuff. We just don't do that stuff. Like,
Trent situation's different,
and we've got Edwards back. Like,
the other two are this is their last contract they'll get, or last major contract they get from the football club. If they stayed on till he was 37, they'd get a Stevie Gerrard type of package where you're still getting decently paid, but it's down and you're a rotation piece. Trent has probably got, after this, one more big contract at the football club. That's why if you give him 350k now, What do you
Where'd
do
you
when
go?
he's 30?
Goes up another level.
Like you, there's no point in paying him that. I don't. It's not my money. I genuinely could not give a shit about the money that's going around. What people say, what people don't. It's all. I will wait until whatever comes out, and I will base it there. I just know in my mind, if he goes, he's the worst of the lot, because there's no reasonable argument to go. Every other time, there's been a somewhat understandable argument. Every other time, yes, Liverpool have not been in a position to compete, not been in a position to offer you the guarantees that we can compete at the very top level. What does he do if we win something this year? What does he do if we somehow, stayed strong and won the league? His argument of him going to Madrid to win trophies, that goes out the fucking window, because we can win them here.
But that's why I'm telling you, like, the reason why I think that we have heard no news is because I don't believe that Trent even knows the answer right now. I think right now that Trent is using this to figure out if he wants to play for Arne slot. And I don't think that he's the kind of player that wouldn't have an issue not even signing a contract until the season is over.
You really think that's a factor, that he might not want to play for that manager?
Hold on. Just listen to my logic here. Regardless,
he can want time. Maybe he wants time.
Like, regardless, we're talking about the end of the season is in June. It is November 20th.
Mo? Have you heard his interviews?
It is November 20th. You do not need to know your future in June. Not to mention, you already know for a fact that there is a team in Spain that will come and get you. If you do not sign with Liverpool under any circumstance, Real Madrid will be there June 1st. Here's the contract, sign it. So he's under no pressure.
Every other top club in the world would want Trent.
He's under no pressure to come to a decision. So he needs to figure out if he wants to play for stop, because look at the way that he plays. He looks frustrated at times. Offensively, he looks frustrated. To me, it feels like he's forcing the issues with certain switches that he does in games. Sometimes it feels like he's trying to get the ball upfield just for the sake of getting the ball upfield. He looks excellent defensively, but he doesn't need to have, he does not need this answer. We want him to answer it because we want to get rid of our anxiety.
You know what else is a big problem that people aren't talking about is the actual way that Trent wants to play. Trent wants to play with freedom where he doesn't have to think about defending. Listen to his interviews. All he talks about is, I want to get loads of assists. I want to be the Ballon d'Or winner. I want freedom all the time. If Xabi Alonso goes to Real Madrid like he looks like he is, he's going to play like the Frimpong role. And Frimpong
is not as quick as Frimpong.
Doesn't do any defending, really.
Trent
Alexander-Arnold knows more than Xabi Alonso has to do well there. Can we stop acting like this is last season?
Tom knows how Xabi play. I don't know.
Xabi's not just going to fit in.
Trent just wants to be a midfielder. He's wanted to be a midfielder for years. He's tried at England to make this midfield thing work. We've tried at Liverpool to make this midfield thing work. Trent Alexander-Arnold missed the key development years to play in midfield. Trent Alexander-Arnold cannot play in midfield at a high level, and he never will do. That's a stone cold fact. It's not to take away how good the technical footballer he is. He just doesn't have the mental ability to play as a midfielder at the very top level of football, regardless of how much he thinks he wants to, regardless of how much he desires to be this box-to-box midfielder. That will never happen. That I don't know if he's accepted that yet. And if he hasn't, then that's part of the problem. If he thinks he's going to go to Real Madrid and play in midfield, he's in for a rude awakening.
He doesn't understand that Real Madrid, you defend a lot in spaces. Carvajal goes up and down, non-stop defending as well. That's how Real Madrid plays.
I'm not making things up. Xabi Alonso is massively linked to Real Madrid next year. Like, I'm not making that up. Like, just Google it.
But the thing is that that's no guarantee that that's going to work.
It's actually 90% he is going to go to Real Madrid.
Exactly. Yeah, he's going to play like Frimpong does. No defensive worries. Just pure attack. Like, pure attack.
I personally think all three sign new deals. I'm just going out there.
I think the problem with this.
I think all three sign new deals. I really do.
The problem with this is that Salah wants more money. If Trent makes that much money, Salah has to be the highest paid player. He wants the highest. He wants to be the highest paid guy at Liverpool. If Trent makes the 350, Salah is going to ask for more. It's just
the only place Salah will get more money is Saudi Arabia, right? No other team, whether even PSG or wherever, they're not going to pay him
400k
grand
a
a
week.
week.
No one.
Yeah.
No one is.
PSG won't even do
So
that now.
essentially, it's a decision between us staying
Or-
at Liverpool and
or
playing top
Saudi.
level football, or going to Saudi Arabia earning more money. Probably maybe not a shitload, but let's say he's earning 600 grand a week at Saudi, but
He's gonna earn
in
1 million a week.
essentially-
It's fine.
It's
He ain't
okay,
going to go
but
Saudi. Saudi talks
essentially,
nonsense.
almost meaningless. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but it's globally, it's nowhere near right.
It's a
Okay.
So he
retirement
has to
home.
decide. So
Careful
it's
what you
not
say.
really. So it probably isn't really about the money exactly. It's about what he wants. Like I don't even think it's wild to suggest that Salah would have a drop in salary. He's on 350. If we offer him 300 grand a week, I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying that
It's
that's
linked.
not a crazy
It's
thing
linked
for someone
deals. It's linked for deals.
who's
It's a year.
he's 32. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much 4-year
I
deal.
understand from the club's perspective. We've seen it with lots of players, and people always say Salah, he keeps himself in tip-top form and all that kind of stuff. That's fine, but it wasn't that long ago at the end of last season when people were saying Salah's finished and all this kind of stuff. He's on a downward trajectory. So
He's still finished. He's finished.
we just don't know. These things come at you fast when you're over that 30-year-old barrier.
Yes.
Regardless of how well, we just don't know the longevity of a particular player. We want him to stay for 3 more years and be elite for 3 more years. But
He
what
might
we
not
want is
be. He might not be.
He might not
Guys,
be. He might not be.
Before we go on, there is about 500 people here. Hit that like button. We're not staying for long. I'm doing these super chats and then we're going to Tom's channel in a second. And also just shameless plug. I'm only 20 subscribers away from 27,300. So hit that. If you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Red Indian saying, once Harvey is fit, I would like to see Gravenberch, Jones, and Harvey Elliott as a midfield 3. McAllister form has dipped. If Trent wants to go, let him go. No one is bigger than Liverpool.
My worry about Harvey Elliott playing for Liverpool Football Club right now is his defensive capabilities. The reason Szoboszlai plays a lot is because of his work rate. Yeah, that's why he plays. Yeah, he needs to get more GA. We know he does. We know he needs to be better on the ball. But it's his work rate he gives to the team.
You guys, if you get a number 9, Jamie, you don't need him to get any GA.
Yeah, exactly. And Curtis Jones has got excellent work rate. He's press resistant. That's why he can play. My worry is the way we want to play. My worry is on Harvey in that midfield 3, playing at the tip of it. It's his defensive abilities, but
he's just very good on the ball. He's very good on the ball. Very good on the ball.
He has a part to play.
We'll see how it goes.
He has a part to play. So even if he comes in and he makes an impact from the bench, and then he's maybe when we're playing at home against the weaker teams where we can maybe afford to have a so he has a part to play, just like the rest of the squad has a part to play.
Yeah.
Apparently,
he's 21.
He's
He doesn't
still
need
very
to play
young.
every game.
Yeah.
Like Quansah doesn't need to play every game. Bradley doesn't need to play every game. They're 21 years old. Like it's madness that we keep on expecting these kids, like young players, to play every single game. Like it's just crazy. Like this one player.
Trent. You want to be Trent. Honesty or say apparently Trent wants 290k a week. And the rest are bonuses. And why are now pocket watching? It does my head in.
I'll be honest, I'm old fashioned. I don't ever want to see a right back getting paid 300 grand a week.
No way.
Even if it's Trent, though. He's the best right back in the world.
It's Trent an anomaly. The thing is, though, Tommy, would you say Trent's an anomaly in right backs, though? Because
in a Jurgen Klopp team, yes.
Yeah, right. We're talking about the slot team, right now, yeah. And we've already said that we ain't actually playing the way Slot wants to play right now.
But I don't think the way Slot wants to play ever involves your right back being your chief chaser.
He doesn't play like
no,
that.
he's not going to be chief creator, but he will get forward more eventually than he does right now.
I mean, Gertrude did score a lot of goals.
Yeah, so he will definitely get forward more than he is right now. He's just working out.
I will be honest. Maybe it's because in my head I've somewhat resigned, so I'm going Madrid and I'm already.
Oh, he's signing. He'd be the first one to sign.
You guys know the reality is this is a free signing as a right back.
I don't think that Liverpool all of a sudden the drop off in quality from Trent to whichever backup you buy, or if you want to play Connor Bradley there or whatever, is as steep as a drop off. But from Van Dijk and whoever would come in after that, Salah,
No, I
whoever
agree.
would come in after that.
I agree.
I'll be honest. I think in the way that our right back plays now,
just buy a defensive one.
I think there's been an argument that Bradley has had probably the best right back performance we've had this season in the cup games, because he's the kind of guy who suits the limited role of the right back, which is get up and down.
Villa, look good.
Yeah, get up and down. Occasionally put a cross in. Don't overexert yourself. Trent, if this was the Trent that broke through at Liverpool, it'd be very interesting to watch. Right now, I just don't think that's the case, and I think that ultimately, I don't ever see a situation where Trent becomes chief creator in this Liverpool team from right back. And if that's the case, I don't know how it ever happens for him, where he becomes the chief creator.
I hear that. Do you think there's a... I hope this don't happen. But
then, Rob, but then Tom, sorry, one quick, because you also earlier you said that if he leaves, then he's the worst ever. So if he
can't win,
but then if he doesn't, but then that's the thing. If he doesn't have that role to play, and we're not going to give him that I'm not talking about the finances. I'm talking about from a footballing perspective. If he doesn't have that role and Arne Slot doesn't see him in that role, can you blame him for leaving in the same sense? Because I can't say I can't say that we're not playing to your strengths, so therefore you're the worst. You're the worst one.
But we're not playing to the strengths that he believes he has. I think we're playing to his strengths this season because we're not exposing him as much. All of a sudden, the narrative on Trent has changed this season. He's now a defensively competent right back. He always has been, but he was never put in the positions to succeed defensively. He was always put in positions to succeed attacking-wise. Now, we are putting him in positions to succeed defensively. I don't think Madrid puts him in a position to do either. I think if you were telling me he was going to go to another club, maybe a Barcelona, for example, I might hear the argument more because I think their structure and their setup is a lot better. But Real Madrid is just a team of individuals. Trent will be left out to dry in that team because no one tries to protect each other. At least at Liverpool right now.
And is he a wing back as well? If Xabi Alonso goes there and he plays with his three at the back.
I don't know where Trent fits in at Madrid. Whereas I know where he fits in now. Is Trent gonna be the player that he thought he was gonna be? No, I don't think he's gonna be this. You know how a couple of years ago everyone thought that for the next 5-10 years right backs would be inverting and they'd be the new centre mids, and it was the next tactical change that's going to last. It lasted about 2 years and everyone's moved back to traditional. Trent is a very good traditional fullback. He needs to accept that.
Not even traditional. Now they're playing centre backs at fullback. It's almost like that a solid back four of centre backs is the way to go.
Yeah, but
Arsenal have been doing it.
Yeah,
City have been doing it.
I think Trent, if he accepts his strengths in this role, can go on to achieve a hell of a lot at Liverpool as a right back.
But you know, I agree with you. That rule is not worth 300k a week.
No, that's why I said I don't think a right back should ever be paid 300k. I don't think fullback should be on that money.
That rule is not, and Trent has to understand this. You're not worth 300k a week in that rule in this Liverpool team. You're not.
But Mo, the thing is, he is actually the second highest paid right back in England. Only Reece James is on more than him now.
You know what the problem with Trent is? He's a free signing for Liverpool. You don't have to pay a signing fee if he signs a new contract. While if you try to go and sign any right back in the world, you'll have to pay a premium fee for it because you're a Liverpool Football Club plus the wages.
I will be very honest. If Trent was Cigar, I wouldn't be shocked if we didn't buy a right back.
And then who plays? Gomez.
Bradley.
Gomez and Bradley would be your two options.
You would go out and you would buy a center back who we already want. And then
you already need. By the way, with Gomez, you need a centre back. So Gomez now is the right back.
But we already want a centre back.
I'm sorry, I love Joe Gomez when he was in his pride. Joe Gomez is not the answer. He has had some in isolated instances good performances, but I think the time for Joe Gomez has passed. That's why I wasn't that surprised that he was put up for sale in the summer. I think that's arguably, it should have happened before.
Red Indian is saying more than 400k. I think he wants the armband. He's never getting the armband. Virgil is there and Alisson is there.
Mo Salah should be our vice captain, not Trent.
Mohamed Salah should be
captain against Southampton.
Yeah. Honestly, saying
where
what
the
no one
armband comes in.
mentioned, Madrid are looking at Frimpong and Pedro Porro as well. It's not just Trent. And what if they bring Hakimi back? Hakimi is not leaving Paris to go back to Madrid. That's as far
Real
as I know.
Madrid do not want Pedro
and if-
Porro. Let's be very fucking frank. If they have a choice between Trent and Pedro
And it's
fucking
also-
Porro, they're gonna go for Trent.
And it's also Trent on a free. Pedro Porro, they're going to have to pay something, right? Trent on a free, every top club in the world would want him.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Listen, if Real Madrid want Trent, they're going to offer him the money to go. But listen, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Das, thank you so much. Jamie Phillips' channel is in the description. Of course, go and support Jamie's channel in the description. Knack channel, it is in the description as well. Tom Little. This video is going to take you to Tom Little. Rack is here. Jerry James was here with us. This was a great Liverpool show. We established in the show that Liverpool are favorites, as you guys saw in the show. That's what we established. They're not leopards or anything. They are favorites too in the Premier League. They have another gear to go to. That's what Das said. I'm just quoting what Das said. So that means they're going to get better from here. The gap is going to get bigger between them and City. Mike Das said it might be 10 points or 8 points. So it's going to
I like
be
the way you say Mike and everything.
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's whoa.
Jamie,
That's reality.
Jamie said he doesn't
That's not what I
like.
said. That's reality.
Said,
5
listen,
points ahead. If we win, we're 8 points ahead. That's just reality. That isn't an opinion.
But listen, this video is going to take you to Tom Little channel, of course. Go all support Tom. Subscribe if you are new to Tom's channel. He's doing content regularly now. So, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know when, but turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you guys later. Let me make sure I redirect it because I did that mistake before. We're out of here, people.
Nunes.